5, 4, 3, 2,
Manchester
1,
United have
0.
reached the promised land.
Well, then, I reckon this is going to be a pretty interesting show. How are you all doing? Sam here, United People's TV, here at 9:30 or 9:33, as the OGs know. Here with the latest Manchester United news. And of course, Cristiano Ronaldo is the big talking point. As if it wasn't going to be the big talking point. I don't want to have to talk about Ronaldo. I don't want to have to talk about the fact that he wants to leave the club. He really wants to leave the club and is not budging on that. I would rather be talking about Lisandro Martinez getting announced yesterday or Christian Eriksen scoring in the 4-1 win behind closed doors behind Wrexham. But lo and behold, you can't ignore the elephant in the room. And Ronaldo is that woolly mammoth. I'm going to speak about it this morning. The latest update from Duncan Castles, who was, of course, the man who broke the news of Ronaldo wanting to leave. And it's not looking good. It's not looking good for Manchester United. It definitely doesn't look good on Ronaldo. And we're seemingly stuck between a rock and a hard place. Good morning to everybody down in the comments. Who have we got down here? I'm sure it's going to be a spicy set of comments today. I've already seen it before the video started. That Clarky, good morning to you. Stu Backer, Daisy, Malps, good morning to both of you as well. Chris, I can see you there. Sigmund, my friend, thank you very much. Also, Sigmund, I'm glad you got the shirt. And also, let me pull this comments up. Right, where is it? This is the sort of level of the generosity of Sigmund. Where is it? Ah, God, there's too many comments coming in. Oh, nearly found it. This is why I struggle with comments. I sent a shirt to Sigmund as a thank you for all the generosity in bringing community gifted memberships to the community. And he gave that shirt to somebody across the road who needed it a little bit more than him. What a guy. Pass it forward indeed. But look, I don't want to have to focus on Ronaldo this morning. I really don't. But you're damn right I'm going to. And I'm doing a video that's going to go out at lunchtime today, which I have been holding back on. I've said it at the very beginning that I said it was dangerous for us to make any sort of assumptions until the sort of Ronaldo story unfolded. And I tell you what, it's unfolded in front of our eyes. It's unfolding as the days go by, and it stinks. It doesn't look good at all. Let me run through the latest updates from the Times, from Duncan Castles on Ronaldo. Look, let's just have a conversation, right? And you can let me know what you think in the comments. I'll try and answer as many of your comments as I can throughout the entire stream. But honestly, there's so many comments that fly in these days. Don't take it personally. I'm not ignoring your comments. It's just when I look at the screen, it's whatever's on screen at that point in time. So it's a bit of potluck. But look, this has come from Duncan Castles yesterday, saying Cristiano Ronaldo refuses to budge and tells Manchester United, let me leave. Let's run through the article and see what it says before we have a quick conversation. It said Cristiano Ronaldo remains intent on leaving Manchester United in the transfer window so he can play in this season's Champions League. Estavo down here saying, Sam, can we please rather focus on the friendly? You can't. Let's not. That would just be ignorant. That would just be what that would that's what would happen in a Disney film. In a Disney film, we were like, oh, the house is on fire. Don't worry about it. Look how nice my garden is. That would be what it would be like to talk about that 4-1 winner. And I'm going to speak about it later in the stream. But people, you got to have to, if there's problems in front of you, you address them. You discuss them. That's what we're doing here with Cristiano Ronaldo. Portugal forward reiterated his stance during talks at the club's training ground on Tuesday. Although United have handled Ronaldo's request to exit sympathetically and granted his representatives permission to explore other options, we've made it clear we don't want to let you go. We want you to be part of the... He was part of the plans for Erik ten Hag before he got the job. He was part of Erik ten Hag's plans when he got the job. And he still remains part of those plans. It goes on to... Duncan Castles goes on here to explain that, look, first and foremost, it's about playing in the Champions League. And it still blows my mind that. That's the thing that's... I think that's the thing that stinks most about all of this. I've got an itchy nose again. What's going on? He's blowing my nose. I did blow my nose. Anyway, itchy nose gate. Anyway. Could have told us this in April, Ronaldo. If the Champions League was that important to you, and he is Mr. Champions League, so it was always going to be important to him. Why are you doing this now, man? Why? That's the thing I just can't get my head around. I will not understand that element of it, right? And that's why when the story came out about being family and personal reasons, I didn't want to make any sort of assumptions. Of course, there are personal reasons for moving his family following the loss of their son during childbirth, and we know that. This is where I think it gets a bit interesting. This week's round of discussions have failed to persuade Ronaldo to change his mind. And look at this bit here. I've got to highlight this because I think this is the craziest part of all of it. The forward is said to have been encouraged by initial interest from Atletico Madrid. Okay. Oh, that's not the case. And Bayern Munich. And Ronaldo hopes United will be persuaded to relinquish the second season of an initial 2-year deal that he agreed with them last summer. Now, what does that mean? That means, effectively, if Duncan Castles is indeed correct, that Ronaldo is asking Manchester United to tear up the contract that he signed so that he can go to another club. Because lo and behold, Ronaldo, you've got no club who wants you, right? Let's go over here and let's read these. That was Simon Jones following up on what Duncan Castles was saying. And this is what a statement from Atletico's International Union of Fan Clubs said whenever the news came out. Remember what I just said down there? That Ronaldo was hopeful about Atletico Madrid. Remember, at Atletico Madrid, before I read the statement out, he is the Antichrist. He is the devil. Ronaldo is the devil as far as Atletico Madrid fans are concerned. Got into two Champions League finals. He scored in one. I think he was he was a significant player in both of them, that's for sure. I was in that period where Zidane was just dominating the Champions League and Simeone got Atletico Madrid there and they just came up against a Ronaldo-led team. They hate him. Absolutely hate him. And the concept of it was just like, you're mad. But then you take a step back and you realize that Ronaldo tried to force his way into City before United came in and swooped. And then Atletico Madrid's fans have released this statement yesterday. In light of the possibility of signing Cristiano Ronaldo, if it is more than a simple rumor without any basis, we express our absolute rejection of his hypothetical joining of our club. The aforementioned player represents the antithesis of the values that constitute the hallmarks of our Atletico Madrid. Wow, I'm not really sure you got that many values. Jesus Christ, you're a horrible team to play against. Anyway, such as the effort, generosity, modesty, and humility of those who want to defend our values. Even in the highly unlikely hypothetical case that a player in steep decline, such as Cristiano Ronaldo, could guarantee us a trophy, we would not accept his signing. And effectively, what you're seeing is this. You've reached a situation now where Ronaldo has made it abundantly clear, not once, not twice, probably 3 or 4 occasions, he does not want to stay at Manchester United. This story originally came out, look at that, July the 2nd from Duncan Castles. So this story has been out in the public for 26 days now. And no doubt it was probably known a little bit more behind the scenes. But Ronaldo, so much so, look at this, right? This is what Atletico Madrid fans had yesterday during a friendly. They got a banner up. You can see CR7 with a crossed out little sign there. CR7 not welcome. I mean, Atletico Madrid fans can't make that any more clear. He's not welcome at that club. Bayern Munich have made it abundantly clear. You're not welcome at our club because you're not part of our transfer policy. Ronaldo, effectively, if I can sum up what's happened with Ronaldo, I can do it in 30 seconds. Let me go full screen. Ronaldo came back to Manchester United because we went in there and we stopped him going to Man City. He was off to Man City. He was happy to play in the blue of Manchester because he knew it would make it. Yeah, he probably would have won the Premier League last season. More trophies, more personal legacy. That's what's important to him. Personal legacy, not legacy with any clubs, personal legacy. But then United came in and we finished second. We signed Varane, we signed Sancho, and we signed Ronaldo. From the outside looking in, from Ronaldo looking in, okay, they finished second last year. I can go there. I can help them get back to where they are. Then all hell broke loose that season. Under Solskjaer, with Ronaldo in, it didn't work. We semi-knew that it wasn't going to work. We feared that it wasn't going to work, and it didn't work. This is longer than 30 seconds, I know. Sorry about that. And then Solskjaer got sacked. Rangnick came in, and it didn't work. It didn't work. And we finished, what, 6th? I don't know. I don't really care or know where we finished last year. We got humiliated by our rivals. Ronaldo was humiliated. We got knocked out of the Champions League, of course, by Atletico Madrid. And it just all went to shit. Ronaldo's realised well, I overestimated how good United were, because the United that he left is not the United that he's walked back into, and he doesn't like it. And he realizes that we're just not good enough. And honestly, this is really, really starting to piss me off, because what you're seeing now, Ronaldo is the best example of this in terms of modern players. But there are a significant portion of football fans who follow players now and not football clubs. They followed Ronaldo when he was at Real Madrid, when he was at Juventus, and now they're back at Manchester United. And Ronaldo can't do anything wrong. He walks on hallowed turf. What Ronaldo is doing right now is completely and utterly disrespectful, beyond belief. Oh, guys, I know you got a contract for me, but can you just tear it up? Because I know that no club can afford to pay my wages. I know that no club can afford me, and I don't want to be here. It's like a child stomping around when you won't give them dessert because they haven't finished their dinner. Finish that, and you can finish your dinner. You can have that. No, I don't want to finish my dinner, and I want to have my dessert. That's what Ronaldo's doing. But that's what Ronaldo is. It's what has made that ego is what has made Ronaldo the greatest goal scorer of all time. The leading Champions League goal scorer. 4, 5, I don't know. Is it 5 Ballon d'Ors? I think it's 5 Ballon d'Ors. Premier League, La Liga, Serie A. The guy's got everything. But when Ronaldo came back to Manchester United, it was never part of a long-term plan. He was never part of a rebuild. It was the last final attempt by Manchester United to instigate a success that's immediate. And it was against the sort of any work that Solskjaer did, and every United fan admitted it, but you got caught up in the nostalgia. Of course we did. We all did. I did. Every single one of us did. And why not? It's Ronaldo coming back. The kid in you was excited. Ronaldo was never part of a rebuild. Solskjaer didn't know what to do with him tactically, and it all went to pot. And right now, that doesn't really make any sense. Erik Ten Hag wants him. He doesn't want to lose him because it's going to be very tough to replace him, given what else we're still doing with Frankie de Jong, and we still need an attacker anyway. But now Ronaldo has realised, fuck, Chelsea don't want me. Bayern don't want me. Atletico Madrid don't want me. Juve can't afford to bring me back. Real Madrid are fine without me. I can't go to Barcelona. Oh, man, I don't know, baby, Barcelona probably will sign him. Ronaldo, man, and this is something I'm going to cover in a video later today. If it's that important to you and money doesn't matter, pay out your entire contract. Then you can leave. Then if you want to relinquish the contract and money really isn't that important to you, pay it all off yourself. That's something that probably is considered an option at this point, because he really, really does not have any options left. He's not going to Atletico Madrid. The fans have made it abundantly clear that they do not want him at the club. And Thomas, you're down here saying he's behaving like a petulant child. And he really has. And he really is. And this is what I mean. I wanted to wait until this story truly developed. For me to have jumped on that story back when it first originally broke. We covered it in detail and I didn't like it. The timing of it never sat with me properly. Life Matters going saying, Sam, do you believe everything you read in the press? It was Duncan Castles who originally broke the story, and it's proven to be completely correct. So we're going to have to presume that he's getting his information from the exact same place. He got his information 26 days earlier, and there's no reason to suggest that he didn't. Go down here and see. I'm going to try and read a few of your comments out right here, because this is... I knew it was going to be a distraction. We all knew it was going to be a distraction. But it's not good. Everyone slated us signing him while we defended it, and now he slaps in the face by wanting to leave when we actually need him. When Ronaldo came back to the club, as I said, it was never part of a long-term plan. Never. It was just like you cross your fingers, so come on, man, work out. And Ronaldo, being the goal scorer, the elite goal scorer of the year, is going to score goals in a team that was massively dysfunctional. And if he had been in that City team last year, he probably would have scored 30. But now in the summer where he's like, you know what? I don't fancy this anymore. I want a new car. Nah, I don't care if I'm not paid off. No, I want a new car right now. I don't care if I'm not allowed it. I don't care if it's not. No, I want it right now. Despite the fact that he's being held to this contract that he doesn't want to see out. Despite the fact that Manchester United don't want to let him go. He wants out. and he's not budging. As Duncan Castles reiterates right here, I mean, it's a transfer request. The transfer request went in like a few weeks ago, and it's not changed whatsoever. I'm going to go down here and see what... Look, Komori, as I say, Ronaldo, I think, misjudged the level of Manchester United when he came back. He saw that we finished second. He saw that we signed Varane and Sancho, and he said, he put 2 and 2 together, and he said, right, okay, second, plus those 2 players, plus me, boom, we can get that back to the top. Wicked. We're in the Champions League next year. We can do that. It wasn't. It didn't work out. He definitely misjudged the position that we were in as a football club before he came back. Let me see what you're saying down here. I could not disagree with you more on this. I literally couldn't. What happened to your balanced viewpoint? My viewpoint on this is not balanced anymore. This whole concept of no player is bigger than the club, right? It's something that it was a value that Fergie instilled into this football club, right into the fabric of it. And that fabric got torn apart in the 10 years that happened after he left. It just, all the positives that I've seen, everything that I've seen being built brick by brick, beginning the foundations from Erik Ten Hag. And then Ronaldo comes in and just says, nah, I don't want to be part of that. As I said, fair enough, man. But fucking tell us in April. That's the thing that's pissing me off. That's the thing. I do not begrudge Ronaldo for thinking this in any way, shape, or form. He's completely entitled to do that. He is an elite goal scorer. He is the greatest, probably the greatest goal scorer of all time. But tell us in advance. Don't just drop it on us like a bombshell. That's the thing. That no, as I said, no United fan would have begrudged him if he told us this at the end of May. None whatsoever. He probably would have went out with a hug from all these fans saying, oh, that was a cracking season. Shame it didn't work out, but lovely to see you in a United shirt again. And instead, less than, just over a week before the start of the season now, this is going to dominate the next 3-4 weeks. Pure Ronaldo sideshow. Pure Ronaldo circus. And that's a massive distraction. And that's getting in the way of Erik Ten Hag's start at Manchester United. And that is pissing me off. John, Ronaldo disrespecting a club where he's adored by demanding to go where he's not wanted. Shot himself in the foot. How does he come back from this? I don't really know. Because as far as Erik Ten Hag's control of that dressing room goes, it will have to be a case that, no player's going to come straight back into the team, right? Everyone knows that. That Erik Ten Hag's made that abundantly clear. But Ronaldo's not only shot himself in the foot, he shot himself in the other foot, and he's pulled his pants down. He's got nowhere to turn. He's ostracized himself from the football club who currently employs him. He's ostracizing himself from the fan base who loves him. We all love him. But he's ostracizing himself from that. He can't go to Bayern. He can't go to Chelsea. He can't go to Juve. He can't go to Real Madrid. He's got nowhere to go. He can go to Saudi Arabia, but money's not his priority. The Champions League is. He's given himself nowhere to turn here. It's such a misjudgment. I think he made a big misjudgment in understanding the position of Manchester United when he rejoined. And also, I think him and his agent have made a massive error, a massive judgment error here in how they've approached this transfer request this summer. Lewis, you're saying there exactly what I just said. He knew in May we weren't in the champ. As I said, and I will reiterate, that's the main takeaway from all of this. I don't begrudge Ronaldo at all for wanting to leave United. But to do it in the time that he's done it, it's odd. And then and if it's just about the Champions League, and that's all we're hearing, just about the Champions League and family reasons. Those family reasons also existed in May. The Champions League was done and dusted by May. That's why none of this sits right with me. There's a couple of super chats here. Sorry, I feel like I'm a bit ranty today. But this really is pissing me off, I'll be honest. Gungshi, thank you very much, buddy. As always, supporting the channel, even in the background. Ronaldo should accept that nobody is in for him and he'll do his best to help Ten Hag and United get back into the Champions League. That will be an achievement in itself, but he's too focused on personal glory to see it that way. It's that focus on personal glory, as I said, which has driven Ronaldo to be the player that he is today. Without that mentality, he would not be the greatest goal scorer of all time. But he's obviously not interested in helping United get back to the Champions League. He's more interested in just being in the Champions League. He doesn't want to give up as far as he's concerned, one of his last 3 years at the top level by doing so, no matter how much he loves Manchester United, which is something that we keep getting told and we keep hearing. Yaz, what are you saying, sir? Love your work on the channel, Sam. Shout out to my cousin Babs, who introduced me to you. Big up to Babs, and thank you very much, man, all the way from New Zealand. I'd love to go to New Zealand someday. Let me see what else you're saying down here. I appreciate there's lots and lots of comments coming in. I promise I'm not ignoring them. But this Ronaldo story for me is just... I felt like we were past these sorts of things with Pogba, with Lingard, and it's just another one of those ones that hang over the head of the club, man. Dale, you're in the comments saying it's either Napoli or Sporting Lisbon. Napoli, I suppose, could happen, but again, it's going to be about wages. No one's going to, and again, this is a situation where Manchester United have a player that we would probably ideally sell, but we can't because of the wages that he is on. How many times have we faced that problem in the last 5-6 years? Rory, 100% people will be in for him if United release his contract. That way, a potential fee of, say, 15 million becomes his signing on fee. If someone wants him, pony up the money. It shouldn't be United losing out here. If somebody wants him, pay up. Good. Pay him the wages. Good. Ronaldo, as I said, Ronaldo, man, if it's that important to you, pay out your own contract. Because you came back to Manchester United under a 2-year with that option of a 3rd year. He's basically made one big mistake, says Nick. He's massively overestimated the amount of big clubs interested in him. Like you said, he shot himself in the foot. And Nick, that is the big clincher here. That's the thing that sort of swept him. And I think that's probably the thing that surprised him the most, is how I imagine he probably would have presumed everybody would have been in for him. It's Cristiano Ronaldo. I think he massively misjudged that. Football really is moving on. Has moved. It's not moved on from Ronaldo, but football's the intensity and the athleticism of football year on year just keeps getting better and better and better. The quality of every team is just phenomenal. And Ronaldo, I don't know, man. It does not sit right with me. Jonathan, you're down here saying, look, club needs to stick to its guns and not let players pout. Of course, but this is Ronaldo we're talking about. And if any player is going to have power in the world, it's going to be Ronaldo and Messi. Well, actually, no, that's a lie. Kylian Mbappe is effectively a politician now at PSG. Cordell, you're saying, you're telling me all of a sudden Mendes has gone dumb as an agent. Honestly, that's the thing that surprises me, not the most about this, but it really surprises me how much it feels like Mendes and Ronaldo have misjudged this situation. Because that's what it feels like. It feels like a massive misjudgment of the context of what's going around. I'm so surprised by it. I really am. And that's why I've been waiting. It's why I've been waiting to do a video, I suppose, to have this conversation. And what you're saying down here, the amount of bile directed at Ronaldo should make me sick. You should all be ashamed of yourselves if you celebrated him returning or a single goal he scored for us. Hypocrites. I'm not here to spread bile, right? I'm here with everyone goes at me, Sam, our agenda this, agenda that, and I've told you, and I've reiterated from day one on this channel, I only have one agenda, right? And my agenda is Manchester United. My agenda is the question that I will always ask myself, what is best for the club? What is best for Manchester United? And right now, Cristiano Ronaldo doing what he wants, telling the club he wants to leave, asking the club to get rid of his 2nd-year contract because he wants to leave, that's not in the best interest of Manchester United. But at the same time, neither is being involved in some sort of tug of war with a player who doesn't want to be here. It's weird. Jonathan, you're saying he may have a club lined up if he's allowed to scrap the contract. Napoli, huge challenge for them to win Serie A. He doesn't want a huge challenge. He's at a huge challenge. He wants immediate success. That's what Ronaldo wants. That's why he wants to leave Manchester United. He can't afford to give himself a huge challenge next year. He doesn't feel like he's got the time for it. Tom, what are you saying, sir? I'm a bit sick of Ronaldo. We celebrated his return like a god. We're at the beginning of an important rebuild, and yet again, he's taken the limelight like a spoilt child. It's really, really poor. Of course, we celebrated him returning. Because we all had that inner. You mentioned children. You mentioned the child there. The child in me was like, my God, it's Ronaldo again. And then that Newcastle debut, you're like, oh my God, we get to. I didn't think we would get to see this again, and we saw it. But we all knew that signing a 36-year-old striker was not part of a long-term rebuild. Solskjaer didn't have Ronaldo on his transfer request list. Think of what you want about Solskjaer, but we finished second that year. The Europa League final was the thing that was the beginning of the decline, really. But then Ronaldo came in, and any sort of tactical thing we were working towards, that team that broke with the transition on the break, XYZ, it changed because Ronaldo came in, and it didn't work. You had to bend around it because it's Ronaldo, so you bend around Ronaldo, right? And he is taking the limelight right now, and that's the thing that's making me angry, right? Because I've been here for the last few weeks waxing lyrical with all the positives, every single element of the preseason and training and drills and players' reactions and performances and team goals and everything. And now here we are, 9 days before the game against Brighton, and we're stuck talking about Ronaldo. It's not helping the club, man. And as I said, that's my only agenda, is Manchester United as a football club, what's best for us. And this is not it. Vicky is saying the morals and his brand is taking a massive decline. I mean, how are the youth that he aspires meant to understand this? Have a nice day. Thank you very much, Vicky. But his brand won't get too damaged by it all. He's turned up to training. He'll keep releasing. I mean, his legacy with Manchester United fans will definitely be damaged. I'll be honest, it was a bit that, but it's just, this is Ronaldo. In 2008, 2009, when Sepp Blatter said that he was being held as a slave at the club, he semi-agreed with it. He kind of got held against his will for a year. We still played well that year. We got to the Champions League final. He wasn't quite the same player, and we lost that bit. And then he went to Real Madrid, got his dream move, and look at the player he became then. But Ronaldo wasn't happy at that point, being at Manchester United. Not like he was the year before when he won the Ballon d'Or with a double. Now, in 2022, he wants to leave again. And I'll be honest, I think the thing I'm struggling with here most is I don't know what the right answer is. I don't know whether the answer is, yeah, just let him, just get rid of his contract and let him leave. Because I'm thinking, no, but then we're losing out on a load of money that we should be getting. He should be paying that. Then I'm thinking, right, let's keep him at the club. I'm like, well, what, we're just going to keep Ronaldo, who's unhappy at the club? That doesn't really suit us. Then I'm thinking, I don't know what the right answer is. And that only, I suppose, infuriates me a little bit more. I don't know what the right answer is. Because as I said, I've been waiting and waiting and waiting. We could have done this video a long time ago. But after the talks that's happened this week, for Duncan Castles to come out with that story, the same Duncan Castles who came out with the original story, it's weird. It's really, really weird. I'm going to end this conversation now, and we're going to move on to some good stuff. We're going to talk about Lisandro Martinez. We've got Christian Eriksen, who scored yesterday, by the way. Yes, please. And I can focus on the positives again. But this cloud will hang over Manchester United until there is a resolution. What that resolution is, I don't quite know. Jurgen, not that Jurgen down there. You're saying the answer is you pay and you stay. And Alex, you're probably right there. As I said, if getting out of that contract is the most important thing to Cristiano Ronaldo, then he should be paying for it himself. Manchester United shouldn't just be giving it away. But let's see what goes on here. Dara, let me know where you're watching from, my friend. I'll try and give you a shout out. That madness. But look, let's move on from Ronaldo to talk about, yeah, boy, look at that for a photo. This is a good one. David De Gea on Twitter yesterday with the new boys, Lisandro Martinez and Christian Eriksen. Look at that, becoming a phenomenally good-looking football club. Look at that. I can't wait to see both of them in action, but both of them were in action yesterday. Manchester United had a friendly against Wrexham behind closed doors, and this was the starting 11 that played. Let's take a look at who played there. We got Kovac in goal, one of the youth goalkeepers with Laird. Rafael Varane getting some minutes into his legs. That's going to be good. And Lisandro Martinez starting. Yes, please. Alex Telles, he's still playing. Zidane Iqbal and Garner in midfield with Eriksen, Chong, Hannibal, and Garnacho. That's a very youthful. And now apparently the team was supposed to be purely just the youth players. But Erik Ten Hag decided that he wanted to give some players some minutes. And in terms of the game, look at that. Christian Eriksen got on the score sheet. Apparently, it was free kick too. Christian Eriksen got on the score sheet. So did Alejandro Garnacho, Ahmad, and even Telles scored. 4-1 win for that team that played behind closed doors yesterday. And nice. Happy days. Christian Eriksen getting on the score sheet. Yes, please. From a set piece. Even better. We need to be better at set pieces. I can't wait to hopefully see. I imagine we're going to see Christian Eriksen and Lisandro Martinez in some sort of capacity over the weekend. Whether it's off the bench against Atletico, whether it's starting against Rayo Vallecano. We don't quite know that yet. But we're going to see both of them this weekend. Of course, it's Thursday now. The first game's on Saturday against Atletico Madrid, where I'm sure there might be some Atletico Madrid fans who will hold up certain banners about a certain player. That'll be interesting to see. But cracking game. Numero uno, you're saying, where can I watch the goals? You can't watch goals. It was behind closed doors. Nobody will be able to see those goals. But it's good to see that's 4 games on the preseason tour, plus this game against Wrexham. Now we've got Atletico Madrid, and then we've got Rayo Vallecano. 7 games in preseason. So far, we've played 5. We've won 5. Well, won 4, drawn 1. Apart from that last-minute equaliser. I forgot about that. And then, of course, Atletico Madrid and Rayo Vallecano. But look, before I quickly move on, I'm sorry if that got a bit ranty, ravey with Ronaldo. I feel quite strongly about that subject, really. And it's such an emotional tear for United fans because of how much nostalgia it's draped in. It becomes a very difficult conversation to have. And the comment section, and I'm no doubt in the video I released later on this at lunchtime, it will be a comment section where there's debate and a lot of arguments. But that's what it is. Like you're down there, so Drew saying that, yeah, I try not to go too far. I really try not to go too far, but I just wanted to explain that because I know that was probably a little bit different to what I'm normally doing. But look, back to the good stuff. Lisandro Martinez, he signed yesterday. You saw how excited I was in the live stream when we did it. I've got a video going out at 5 o'clock today, which you're definitely going to want to watch. I covered the first interview with Manchester United from Lisandro Martinez. I covered his farewell interview from Ajax, and I also cover an interview I've been holding back on for a couple of weeks from 2021 that he did in Argentina, where it really gives you a sort of insight into the mentality of the man and the makings of the butcher of Manchester. Woo! The butcher of Manchester. Honestly, I keep going on about that. It's such a good nickname. Look, I haven't even mentioned Frankie de Jong yet. Everyone's like, oh, can you talk about something else? As soon as I talk about Ronaldo, oh, can you talk about something else? It's quite funny. It really is. This is something that he said in his farewell interview with Ajax, and it's a sort of mentality that we know we need at the club. We really know we need at the club. Because I want to improve myself more than I already have here at Ajax. With Ten Hag as a manager, I will become even better because he's an excellent manager. My mentality is to work hard every day and to win trophies, and that's what I'll keep doing. I really do think that Martinez is going to quite quickly become a real fan favourite at Manchester United. I think he's going to become I think he's going to become a sort of a shining example of what we've lacked for the last few years and what we have to have going forward. That's what I think Lisandro Martinez is going to represent. Let me go down here and read the comments. We've got Jesper joining as a member. Let me know where you're watching from, Jesper. Power Manager, it was a cracking. Ajax are very, very good at doing farewell videos. They really are. They can see the emotional connection. And I think you could tell as well, I think Martinez would probably have been happy to stay at Ajax, but the ambitions of him went a little bit higher than what Ajax could achieve. He was sad to leave them behind, but he's left them behind for Manchester United. Edwin van der Sar giving him the goodbye message, saying good luck at this amazing club with a manager that shares the philosophy of attacking football in the style of Ajax. And Edwin, I can't wait. Give it 2 more years and we'll have Edwin there in the background in a triple hug at Old Trafford. That's what I hope will happen anyway. I hope that, as I said, I reckon about 2 years' time, that Edwin van der Sar now is in charge of the rebuild at Ajax. He's the last sort of remaining piece from that old Ten Hag, Overmars, Van der Sar, Holy Trinity that they had. And I think Van der Sar for the next 2 years, steer Ajax through this difficult period, leave them in a happier place, come to Manchester United in 2 years. We win everything for 10 years. Yes, please. Come on. I don't know. Oh, no. You know what I've just realized, Dan? You weren't actually talking to me. I think you might have been talking to someone else in the comments who's called Sam. Or maybe you're just saying I'm deluded. I don't quite know. But lots and lots of United fans were a bit angry about, where's Lisandro Martinez? Why is he not being announced yet? And I was just like, chill. Like, we've already agreed a deal. There must be something stopping it from happening. We got a bit of confirmation on that yesterday. This is from The Athletic. He said there were several reasons for why there's a long gap between. I said, and one of them was Brexit. Because of the UK's decision to leave the European Union, it has become a lengthy process for players from other countries to be granted visas to work in the UK. Once Martinez's visa issue was resolved, United had to transfer over his registration with Ajax, and they were going through that procedure in recent weeks. It is understood the delay was not down to a material issue. Nothing has changed. The reason the two clubs announced it on the July 17th is Ajax's stock market disclosure requirement. Well, there you go. No problems whatsoever. And again, that's what I sort of reiterated. It's nothing major. It was just a bit of a delay. It's just that everyone's got that impatient that as soon when that deal gets agreed, you're like, well, if the deal's agreed, then announce the player, which is kind of fair enough. But there was a couple of things blocking it, and that was one of them. Now, quickly, before we do completely move on, I just want to say Benjamin Sesko, right? I spoke about him a few weeks ago, didn't I? When I was looking at potential Ronaldo replacements, I identified Benjamin Sesko. I said, look, if we're really going to be changing the mentality of our football club, then what we need to be doing is not signing Jadon Sancho's when they are 75, 80 million pounds. We need to be signing Jadon Sancho's when they're 5 to 10 million pounds. Now, Benjamin Sesko, we've probably missed the boat with that. But it's still at that point now where he's one of those burgeoning talents who's coming through. And yesterday, he scored this goal in pre-season for Salzburg against Liverpool that ended up being the winner. And for somebody who's like 6'4", 6'5", if you watch the highlights of the game, this dude's got a touch on him. This dude really has got a hell of a touch on him. As some might say, a great touch for a big lad. But Benjamin Sesko, it's obvious that he is a real talent for the future. But as he showed with that performance yesterday, he can be probably considered as well a bit of a talent for now. He's 19. He's obviously going to be one of those players that breaks through in the next couple of years and makes a real difference at the top level. As I said, that's how football's come on now and develops. Like back in the day, whether it was like Norman Whiteside, there were other examples of Wayne Rooney, of course. When a teenager broke through, it was like, wow, my God. And they stood out like a sore thumb, but in the right way. These days, 19 and Erling Haaland and Jadon Sancho and Jude Bellingham, there's so many examples of like teenagers who are like, well, fuck me, you're far better than I think you should be at that age. But that's how good training has become. Facilities, XYZ, and scouts are getting better at identifying talents at a younger age. Sesko clearly is one of those players. Now, at the age of 19, we saw mad valuations being put in his head. It's like 55 million. It's like Salzburg, can't be boots. All right, chill. You're not going to get 55 million for him. Steve, you're right there. Rooney's a freak. Smashing. Yeah, he was. Rooney was a complete freak. But it's a very strange question there from Josiah because Sesko and Garnacho, my God, do you want to get polar opposite players? You've got a 6'5" striker and you've got a 5'8" left winger. Completely different players. Sesko, whether it's Manchester United who are going from this summer, whether it's somebody else, whether it's not this summer or the year after, Benjamin Sesko is obviously going to be a name that we hear about for a good amount of years. Now, Manchester United, as Fabrizio Romano said a while ago, we're interested in him. He's a name on the list. And I imagine if Ralph Rangnick was still involved in the club, maybe we would have been accelerating it a little bit more. Ralph Rangnick not being here doesn't mean that we won't go for him. And by that performance yesterday, it just puts him a little bit further in the spotlight. I did a video. If you don't know about Sesko, check out my video on him. Let me see if I can quickly get a link for you now. Why not? That's how nice I am sometimes. I'll get a link for the video right now. Let me find it. There it is. I did this 2 days ago. Here's a sort of the link. There's a link to the video there. It's sort of a full story of Benjamin Sesko, where the rumors came from and where and how he would fit into Manchester United and why there's some real hype about him. Dara, your first comment, buddy, saying, "Hi, Sam. Been watching the channel for the last month, but I'm a new member. Love the content. Only United channel I enjoy watching. Thank you very much, man. I add into the Irish contingent. I couldn't possibly tell from the name Dara O'Reilly. How you doing, buddy? I need to go back to Ireland soon. I need to see some family. But Benjamin Sesko clearly is going to be a name that gets talked about for a while. Whether or not it's Sesko, whether or not I did a video yesterday, which surprisingly not many of you watched. I was very surprised about it, actually. The Anthony Alternatives video. I've kind of maintained on this channel ever since that 80 million valuation went on him. I haven't fed the hysteria or the hype. I said, we're probably going to get outpriced for him. And lo and behold, they've now increased it to 100 million. And we're getting outpriced for a move for Anthony. So we're looking elsewhere. I talked about Ziyech yesterday, Memphis Depay. Who else did we speak about? Cody Gakpo from PSV. We had a conversation about Danjuma from Villarreal. Loads and loads of players. Vicky, I think that might have been it yesterday. Sometimes it really annoys me about YouTube, actually. Sometimes they don't put videos into the inboxes of people. So you work so hard to build up a big subscriber base, and they don't even send the videos out to them. Really, really frustrating, because I do put a lot of work into all that I do. So I'm proud of the content that I do. Moreno Villarreal says, Jonathan, look, let's find out what happens. Whether it's Benjamin Sesko, and I think what goes on with this man here might well change our approach. Without Ronaldo, it may be a case that we need 2 attackers this summer. Maybe. With Ronaldo, I think we'll only sign 1 attacker. Whether that's going to be Benjamin Sesko, whether that's going to be somebody else, I don't quite know. But he's definitely a big, big talent. Really is. I mean, he's quite literally a big talent. He's absolutely bloody huge. Everybody in the comments, last couple of minutes of every show, if you're new here, welcome to United People's TV. Make sure you subscribe, please. So many of you are watching these days, and I love how the community is growing. I'm trying to keep it as true to its origins as we grow and as we scale and get bigger. I don't want to sort of detract from that. But I apologize if you think I'm ignoring you in the comments. I'm not. It's just there's so many comments coming in that it's really hard to keep on top of them. I'll try my hardest. Mogans, let me know where you're watching from, my friend. Joining the family. I love how big the community is growing. Look at that. Got Charles watching the whole way from Papua New Guinea. Wicked. And look, Steve watching from LA. I love that shit, man. Craigie joining them. That's the best part of it, like all around the world. And look at that, Anthony. Lots and lots of Ajax fans have slid into my DMs, sort of joining just because they're curious as to how Erik Ten Hag gets on. And I hope that I can represent everything to you that you want to. And you're down here, you're saying, I'd argue that when Ronaldo goes, we need 2 strikers rather than 1. So if you go for Sesko, perhaps Belotti on a free. I've spoken about Belotti before. Belotti is a bit of a strange one, really. He's been available for free all summer long, and no one's gone for him. Is there a reason for that? I'm not really sure. But if we were going to go for Belotti, I would have presumed we were going to do it by now. And the same goes for anybody else who's been linked with him. Joshua, you're joining as a member as well, my friend. How you doing? Would you trade Ahmad on a 2-year loan and 25 mil for Sesko? A 2-year loan is basically selling a player, first and foremost. We know that. That's too much. That's way too much. We've got Ivan watching from Dublin, but you're Croatian. And then we've got a Barca fan here. Speaking of Barca, isn't it amazing how Barca continue to sign players? Wow, now they got Jules Koundé with Lewandowski, and can't remember the third one they signed. Who was the third one? Rafinha, and they can't register any of them. Me saying nothing. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm just going to see how it continues to unfold. You know full well that I'm equally as frustrated at what's going on with the whole Frankie de Jong situation as you are. So I will only bring you updates as and when they come. And it's just an interesting one because the Koundé deal is now over the line. So honestly, I don't know what they're going to pull here, but they're going to have to pull something. But yeah, unfortunately, the main premise of today's video was to speak about Ronaldo. You can't ignore the elephant in the room. You can't ignore the story that is dominating right now and distracting Manchester United from our plans, because our plans do change with or without Ronaldo, right? They really, really do. Barca, I can't be asked about the Barca situation. Chris, you're saying that's why the 4th of August is an important date, Sam. Registration deadlines to transfers will happen the night before. Okay, well, let's find out there. What do you mean in La Liga rather than Premier League? But look, I'm going to do a video today that's going to go out in maybe just over an hour's time. And it's going to be a 10-minute short video with all my opinion about this Ronaldo story. I feel like I want to get it out there in a shorter video, try and be as succinct as I possibly can. I know that lots of you, I love these interactive shows, but not everybody has the time of day to come in here for a 45-minute chat. So that 10-minute video will sum up everything I think about Ronaldo. And I think it'll probably be the last time I speak about it until we get real movement, until we hear from like Ornstein or Romano about something that's happening. Because I don't know what that'll be. But look, thank you all for joining in this morning. I appreciate it might have been a bit more of a aggressive is the wrong word, but this is an emotionally charged topic, I would say, for Manchester United fans. And it's not really the best situation for Ronaldo, for the club, for all of us fans. But I'll try and cover it in as much detail as I possibly can and correctly. Well, I think so anyway. But look, thank you very much, everybody, for joining in. Thank you for all your super chats, as always, supporting the channel. It will all go back into being reinvested into the channel, making it bigger and better, as it has been for the last few months and will be for the future. But big up to everybody. Drop a like on the video, and I'll see you soon.